Neat and Not by the Sea. My name is Catherine and my pronouns are she, her. Today I am in Otipoti and I'm with a couple of friends. And this is a Flosstube special. We are going to be talking about Palestinian embroidery and Palestinian textiles. So you'll know that I've been talking a lot about Palestine and what's happening at the moment. I've been going to the marches. I've been asking people to write to their members of parliament and president or prime minister. So this is quite important to me. And just coincidentally, I met my friend Rasha through work, and we got talking. That's when I found out she does cross stitch. So I was like, great, we can talk about something other than work. And I became quite embarrassed because I collect textiles and I love textiles and embroidery, and I knew so little about Palestinian embroidery. And of course, with what Israel is doing with Palestine, my Instagram feed is just 95% the genocide. And to counterbalance the horror of what's happening, I'm following lots of creative textile accounts that are advocating for Palestine. So that's really lovely. And we thought it would be a really nice, positive, good for your soul thing to do, to actually talk about their culture and the beautiful textiles that they have and some of the Tatreez culture around it. So first of all, we have Rula here.
Kia ora. Hi everyone.
Rula is Rasha's sister, and she very kindly is going to start because she has things to do, even though it's Sunday. And after that, it's going to be Rasha, and she's got a little bit more flexibility. And Martin's away, so I can be here until 9 tonight. No problems. And you know, Palestinians are so polite. Rasha will not throw me out.
Of course.
I'm not going to stay. I'm just
But you know,
kidding.
as part of the hospitality, you can stay for 3 days, and we will never ask why you're staying for 3 days.
It'll just be very awkward. It is funny, lots of similarities between Palestine and Peru. I think ancient cultures are like that. They've retained lots of, cultural similarities. So it's quite good fun to know about this. If you overstay in Peru, someone will get a broom and put it behind the door, and that's supposed to do the trick, and people will leave. So you're not allowed to tell them that you're putting the broom behind the door, though. So anyway. Now first of all, we talk a little bit about, tell us a little bit about yourself. Anything you want to, something about how you spend your free time, maybe where you were born, if you want to share that, or what you've studied, about your family, anything you want to do. As much or as little.
Kia ora everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, so my name is Rula. I've been in Otipoti, Dunedin, New Zealand for 11 years. I'm Palestinian, born into a Palestinian family. Both my parents hailed from the north of Gaza, from a destroyed village in the 1948 Palestinian catastrophe, or the Nakba, called Hamama, which means division. A small town that was nearly 5,000 people around the time. And
so this is a map before 1948?
Yes.
So not exactly, but roughly where it was?
So it would be 10 kilometers to the north of Gaza, around Majdal. So this is the main town that was close.
Somewhere there.
Yeah.
So this is Gaza. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
On the Mediterranean shore. Our small town, had farmers, shepherds, and a lot of fishermen. So it was very known with exquisite cuisine based on seafood. So a lot of our families and the remaining of the families that came from the same village from Hamama into Gaza, who became refugees after the 1948, where they had these amazing restaurants and retained the profession of fishing. So this is something unique to tell about our town.
Cool.
Yeah. Now,
embroidery. I just want to show you this book. So I was late. Great guest. Because I wanted to stop at the library to get this book. And so this is the book that I opened because they had a map. I suppose a lot of my viewers, as me, didn't really understand about the map of Palestine, and or anything really before the 7th of October. So I just wanted to give some indication of the locations. But this is a great resource if you're interested. It was published in the 80s, and there are some other newer resources that I'll list at the bottom of the video as well. So, great cooking comes out of Palestine, and great embroidery as well.
Great embroidery as
So you've
well.
got some treasures, which I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, and if I may also add, a great history in education, a lot of intellectuals in Palestine. If you go and dig in, you'll find so many photos documenting schools, traditional uniforms and dresses, way back into the 1880 and the beginning of the 20th century. A lot of what we know was passed on from one generation to another. So what my grandma had, giving to my mother, and then giving to us, way before anything introduced in the formal system. The reason why I say that is because back in the 70s, 80s, and during the first Intifada, and before the coming of the Palestinian Authority after the Oslo Agreement, there was a restriction on the number of books that can tell Palestinians about the history of our cause. If you are caught on the borders with a book that talks politically about the cause of Palestine, or anything related to the poetry, the literature, all of that was punishable by the soldiers, the Israeli soldiers. So it was a very tricky business to maybe smuggle that type of information, written information, from publishers all around outside of the Palestinian territory. So part of that is oral, and again, women all over the globe have been the guardians, the kaitiaki of those traditions passed from one generation to another. Not only just the language and the way we do things and the cooking, but definitely on top of that, our traditional dresses and, of course, embroidery, Palestinian embroidery comes on top of all of that.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so what would be the first thing you would like to show us?
Okay, I would like to show you
We have an assistant.
the most important piece in my collection, which is a dress, a traditional dress,
which is called a thobe. Thobe, so you don't pronounce the H. I hear
no,
thobe and
yeah.
I hear thobe.
Yeah, it depends on the dialect.
Uh-huh.
So we'd say thobe, but the standard Arabic would be thawb, which means a dress. Thawb.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the standard. Now, this one here is very special to me and Rasha, because this was my mom. She made it in 1986. So that was
It feels woolen.
around 30, 80 years.
Can I put it near the screen?
Yeah, do that.
Just this. Okay.
So this dress is 38 years old. Was made specifically for an important occasion when my father finished his PhD. So women would make new traditional dresses for special occasions, for a wedding, for a celebration of graduation, something important, a milestone in your life, you make a new traditional dress. As you can see, they are made with the Palestinian flag colors, this one.
Also red, so the black is the dress, and then red, green and white.
And white, exactly.
Cool.
We do stitches that use so many colors. It would be a revolution of colors, as you will see in other pieces. But that specific one was the color of the flag, knowing that it was 1986, even just before the first Intifada, so we were well under the Israeli occupation at that time.
So what does Intifada mean?
So Intifada is an Arabic word that actually found its way into English, so you can find it in the English dictionary as well, which means an uprising. And the literal translation is to shake off. To do an act that would change the course of events, and it's a word that signifies resistance.
Okay.
So one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that the Palestinian flag was banned since the 1967 2007 when Israel took over Gaza and the West Bank. So we were not able to show the flag, and that's why you'll find a lot of colors, specifically with the colors of the flag everywhere, without having the flag itself.
It's very beautiful. And so your mum embroidered this?
She embroidered this, and it was specifically for that occasion, and she passed it on.
Beautiful. And you're the eldest.
I'm the eldest.
So you've got it.
Which means I need to stay in shape to keep the dress.
Okay. Or the slimmest sister gets it.
The slimmest sister will get it.
Also,
yeah,
you're the eldest altogether, not just the eldest daughter.
I'm the eldest altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nobody, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Lovely. We had a similar thing at home. I'm the youngest.
What do you get as the youngest in your culture?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay.
You get spoiled, but you also don't get listened to.
But maybe yeah, please go.
No, I was just going to say I'm the knitter in the family. I have a sister that knits, but she doesn't finish her project, so I'm the knitter. And my mum knitted a beautiful alpaca jumper for my dad. So
nice.
Back in the day, you wouldn't have been able to get alpaca yarn outside of the Andes. So she knitted this beautiful alpaca jumper for my dad, and he never wore it because it was very itchy. But it's amazing. It's like proper Scottish knitting, full of cables. And I thought, I'll take it on one of my trips. And when I went looking for it, somebody else had taken it already. I'm not happy. We don't have that clear definition of who gets what. Anyway, so that was beautiful.
Rasha might want to show something different. Where
So I was thinking, shall we show more soap with a
Sure.
different patterns, and then we move to a different type of.
So the soap has been the thing that really caught my eye, because everybody that watches this knows how much I love Mexican embroidered outfits, and they also have this, and the Indian things, they also have this thing, and I just love how different cultures share similarities. So now is Rasha here, and we haven't talked about you. We have got an intermission because Rasha's going to tell us a little bit about herself.
Okay. So I'm Rula's younger sister and Catherine friend as well. We do work together, but we love Palestine and cross stitches and patterns and everything.
Yes.
And I love system change and anything revolutionary. So that's me.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got another stove.
Another stove, yeah.
Brilliant. And this one belongs to you?
Belongs to me. I just asked for it to be specifically made for me before I came to New Zealand, because it was a big momentum.
So who made it?
There was a collective of Palestinian women, refugee women, are working together, and they are making these embroideries. So you will see that multiple women. Some could make the entrance, others could make the sleeve. Yeah.
Cool.
And
I'll have it nearer, and you can
do the back.
Yes.
As well.
It's very. I've been reading about it, and
and as you can tell, it's very, very intense.
It's full. Yeah.
It
has a lot.
And heavy. Yeah. And usually it would be just on the top of the cover here, and sometimes on the sleeve. But usually, or well, it could be a full sew with all of
like this one here,
stitches.
also on the back and the front.
I'll show them all. Yeah. So I've been reading that this is called a necklace.
Yes.
Isn't that a lovely romantic name to give it?
Yeah.
And also Instagram. Yeah, I just live on Instagram. These I've now read that are originally Palestinian, and they've gone across the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Through the Crusades.
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Back. Yeah.
I mean, there's always been a lot of that. It's just, and we expect that because of trade and invasions and things like that. But what I find really interesting in a bad way is that I'd never heard Palestinian or Syrian or Jordanian. I've never heard any of those linked to this motif, which is really common in Norwegian knitting, for example.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
And as you can tell, Rula with the other one showed just the Palestinian flag color.
Yes.
But in this one, it has more colors.
Yeah.
And more
It's a
alive.
celebration.
Yeah.
Of course.
Colors.
Can you see how beautiful? Loads of colors. And this would have been embroidered using the waste canvas?
Yes. And then taking out of the sew. Yeah.
And we were talking about threads earlier. This would have been using pearl cotton.
Yeah.
You know, the one that's like two strands that are
Exactly.
blended together.
Well,
Very
we were
lovely.
trying to get some, but not yet. But we will do all of the effort to get the same
Isn't this the
type
same
of
type?
yarn.
Stunning?
Yeah. This one is the closest to lock, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Does
Yeah,
not.
no. And I have lots of pearl cotton at home. I was just looking. I really wanted to bring the colors.
The Palestinian.
The
flag.
Palestinian. No, there's the Palestinian colors. I had my, you know, that thing that I shared on Instagram, that
Yeah.
account that had
Yeah.
a different for the different villages, and so I wanted to bring a little set.
Exactly, of color.
And that didn't work out because we live in a small city and they don't have that.
There is actually a book that I'll be ordering soon. Some of it is available online.
Mhm.
It's called Malikat al-Harir, which means the queens of silk. So the yarn that we use, although it's not made of silk, we call it silk.
Yeah.
And so when you're, you know, doing embroidery, that's what you refer to. So it was a photojournalist. His name is Mustafa Silwadi. Mustafa lost his legs in a shooting by the Israeli army. So he became confined to his wheelchair. And he had an affinity and a very keen eye to the details of embroidery. So he documented that in these set of images that he took. The book's name is The Queens of Silk.
I'll be interested in getting
It's
that book.
a lovely, lovely one. If you Google it, if you go online, you will find some of these images available freely.
Did you got it or not yet?
I haven't got the book yet. It's on my to-do
Yeah.
list.
We'll add it to the list. So
Yeah.
I keep saying that Otago University is diversifying the library. So I have suggested also make friends with a librarian. They're the best people.
Yeah.
So I've got all my contacts,
Yeah.
and the books that I already ordered have arrived. They haven't been catalogued yet, so which is why I don't have it. But we'll be ordering that one as well.
Yeah.
So if I may say, I was talking about women did that. So in Gaza, there is lots of collective women, like the social enterprises or groups, that they don't necessarily like to be as part. They know that the collective, they work together. And previously, as part of my work with the United Nations and my other two friends, Marlene and Randa, they were also managing a center in Gaza called Silwadi. And Silwadi has many, many women from the different refugee camps as well as the camps. Everyone is interested in the process of
Yeah.
so they can work, and many of their work design has traveled the world.
Yeah.
Because it was as well not just like banding the flags, but there was lots of restrictions of the trade. From the
Yes.
Palestinian women getting all of these special and amazing pieces of art to the wider world.
So what I will say is that at the end, I am going to try and take as many photos as possible to put them at the end of the video, because it's really hard to appreciate the beauty of these when I'm kind of holding them up to the camera that doesn't have good lighting. So I will take good photos. As an addendum as well, I was listening to Tatreez and T I was listening to Tatreez Talk, which is our new podcast, and they had the founder of Tatreez and Tea, which is one of the books that I've ordered, and they were talking about, because Palestine is persecuted people, that they think it's unethical to collect antique thobe or any Palestinian embroidery if you're not Palestinian, which I totally agree with. So I have no intention of starting to look for antique Palestinian things, because I think she was right. They should stay within Palestinian families or go to institutions where they can have access to them. But you can help a lot, and you can add to your own textile collection if you're willing to buy new from these collectives. And so you're helping people, but also you get to have something beautiful.
Yep.
So you'll be helping me with that. I do know, I mean, gosh, with what's happening in Gaza now, but I do know that they have got refugee camps in, is it Jordan? Where they have got
Lebanon,
collectives.
and Syria.
So
And
you
yeah,
can
as
access
well.
these things.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really benefits women, so they're, you know, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, another
So-
beautiful one.
And so it's not just like for women, as well for children. So this one as well is especially handmade, and it's made by our sister mother-in-law in Bashar, and it has been made for Zeus's mother.
Mother-in-law,
Yeah.
okay.
And this has been made for Hala, the first grandchild in our family as well. And for women and for children, I'll just give a closer look to the photo and then
it's a smaller size.
It's a smaller size, but it's also very heavily embroidered.
Yeah.
And as while you are holding it, I'll also hold the headband or scarf that comes on the top.
With the coins?
Yes. It's like a simulation of coins, but usually this will be gold.
Yes.
In the past.
In the past,
yeah.
yes.
And people will be surprised that 80 years ago, 100 years ago in Palestine, people will be wearing these amazing dresses on a day-to-day life as they go by to the market, to places, or baking, or doing, just wearing these amazing pieces of art in their day-to-day life activities.
It certainly would make work more fun if you wore something like this, I think.
We have been
Lovely.
seeing some influencers, baking or making these dishes while wearing traditional thobe, and that's the way we used to do it 100 years ago, 80 years ago.
And of course, village people, they wouldn't have had a number of outfits. I mean, nobody had a number of outfits in the past. Even rich people would have had 3 or 4 outfits that they moved around.
Not many.
No, not many. Yeah.
But that's what you would be wearing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And this one actually is interesting because this one you can actually see the crisscross of the fabric.
Yep.
Which would make me think, is this hand woven?
It's handmade.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need the waist canvas with this fabric.
This is hand without the waist canvas, yes. Because Bashar is very experienced.
Yeah.
And so she would do it without the canvas. And you can tell the differences in between. Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking today about that in the podcast, about your hands would see.
Yeah.
When you're so masterful, you don't even have to look because they know where to go.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently, the backs are important.
Well, we also say that the neat embroiderer, the back of the thobe or the thobe would look also neat, so it's not a mess.
Yeah.
So maybe not a craft for Catherine, but
even in the back.
Yeah. So
they did talk a little bit about that, about how
this one,
to not get obsessed, to make it neat, but not don't obsess about it.
But frankly,
God,
look at
amazing.
this one, incredibly neat at the back of it.
That is amazing. Yeah. Is this the one we just saw?
The one we just saw. Yeah.
Oh, can I just say that I love this one as well. The geometry of it is so beautiful. Look at it. I've already shown this, but it will be a good photo. But yes, this was a very neat person. Look at that. The back of my work now.
And people
like this.
will take pride of that.
Yeah.
That actually.
And what we know now as well is like, so even if you have this one for many, many years and this fabric that's faded, so women will just cut this one and replace it in a new dress and get different designs. So there is now lots of free innovation of the same old dresses, but with a modern structure or a different way of having it.
And I did hear some people talking about the fact that for a culture to be alive, it has to evolve. And so you'll start seeing probably things like mobile phones on thobe, because that's what matters to young people. So if they take up embroidery, it might not necessarily be. I mean, there'll be a mixture of things like. During the Intifada, they innovated with new things because it matters to them.
In fact, on that note, I'll just share with this to you now. So, if you have a piece of embroidery that has been worn and you can't do much of it, what happens is that it gets reused and recycled. So this is a piece of embroidery that is put in a frame, and that's it. So I have 3 of those on the wall. So just patterns of embroidery.
Beautiful.
That you can you reuse the fabric because it's no longer part of a thobe. And
would you know who made it originally?
Not this one, to be honest. My husband got it from the West Bank in one of his last trips.
Isn't this gorgeous? Oh, what a good husband! That's
He's a good
great
husband.
gift. Martin never brings me gifts, and he goes, oh, "What is this?" Not hard. Do you know Martin went to Japan for the rugby with his son?
Yeah.
Japan, the culture that has amazing textiles, the culture that has amazing ceramics. What did he bring me?
What did he bring you?
Rubbish chocolate from the airport. I'm just saying, I think he gets points.
I think Martin needs to watch your Instagram.
Actually, we don't really
Follow
value
your
gifts.
channel.
That's part of the problem is that we don't value gifts enough. So he knows that it doesn't matter that much to me. But I thought, how did you manage to avoid textiles and ceramics in Japan? That takes effort. Anyway, this is a stunning gift.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank
You chose well.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Very beautiful.
So, as we had talked a little bit about the collection of soaps, there's also the scarves.
And the shawl.
And the shawl. Yes.
Peter, I've seen you wear this to work.
Yes. Gives me strength. And this pattern specifically is very well known and very common in Gaza. So this is not nothing new, the structure, but this is a very well-known pattern.
Does it have a name? Do they have names? Like if you wanted to commission something with this, would you have to give them a photo, or is there a way to describe it to the embroiderer?
They just know it.
They
know the pattern.
They know the pattern,
Yeah.
But if you didn't have it with you, would you say, I want that pattern with the...
You will get a
They'll
picture
describe
of it.
it. Yeah,
But there's
or
also now a younger generation that they use the design programs in order to get the pattern designed and printed.
The young people innovating. This is
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I do have to say, I joke because, Rasha is more serious than I am. I am a bit ridiculous. And I say that it's strength to cope with our work that she needs, not with what's going on in Palestine.
So, and I'll show you another pattern here as we will. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just obsessing because I've seen this a few times, but not
Close up.
not close up.
Yeah.
We are going to be here 6 hours.
But you can tell, you can tell that every color is here, and it's
That's
matching
right.
in a perfect way. And if I may say, with every outfit, it just fits.
It just goes,
It
yeah.
just
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
and it makes life easy and beautiful.
Does this have a name, like to have them dotted around like that? Because it's
We
gone.
don't know,
Yeah.
but we will
We need to ask, yeah, because we were ourselves embroiderers in a very different lifetime. Yeah.
Rula, because we have also learned that at school. So at school at the elementary,
intermediate. So part of the textile, you would learn to do embroidery, and you get marks. So it's part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
So at least
The boys as well? Or just the girls?
No,
boys
just the
would
girls.
do
The girls.
carpenting,
Carpentry
Yeah.
and
Okay.
yeah.
but the girls, they will do that. Which is now I
Well, this just what
remember.
surprised me when you were talking about that man that was injured and now he's written a book. Well, he's a man, but he's become interested in embroidery.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Well, I mean, at the moment, probably we all as Palestinians are trying to learn across the spectrum.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also he's probably a good gift giver as
Probably
well.
a good gift.
Martin again.
Yeah.
Having a go at Martin because he's not here.
Silwadi,
Just
that's
saying.
his right last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll add it at the bottom of the description to find various bits that we're talking about. Sorry,
So
go
this
on.
pattern is you'll see it's different, and this comes from the south of the West Bank, Hebron areas, and the rural areas around Hebron. So it's a different pattern. Again, you'll find all these colors. There's not a specific way of doing it. You just go and you decide on the next lot and the next one, and just so you end up actually with, although you're using probably the same pattern, but because the colors are different and vibrant, you end up with a unique piece.
I do have to say I love the reds. All
Yeah.
the reds of Palestine. That's whatever I end up embroidering myself is going to be red heavy.
Red heavy.
So beautiful.
And Catherine, you told me about the Instagram page that they have the collective of the threads that shows the different threads of each city.
Yes, and so that's for DMC. But apparently in the book that will be coming to the library, they have different brands, not just DMC.
Yes.
So they might have, I don't know, other brands. I don't know the other brands. And maybe Anchor. I don't know.
And if you may notice,
another
the
one.
fabric of this one is completely different from the other one.
This is like a winter fabric.
So it's winter fabric. That one you can't embroider on it straight away. It's So incredibly difficult.
With waste
to do.
canvas.
It has
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
done with waste canvas.
And also, interestingly, to me this feels like a winter piece.
Yes.
But I had read that black tended to be the winter color and white was the summer color. So obviously people, you can read the rules and then people are just doing what they want,
What
right?
they want, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another one. This is not a winter
And it
fabric.
has some,
And that's crochet.
Bit of
Yeah,
crochet, yeah.
bit of, and the edging is in crochet as well.
Yes.
And the edging is in
So
crochet.
it's a mixture in between folds.
Yeah.
Here's another one that also from the south of the West Bank. Another pattern, different lighter summery fabric, a bit lighter as well. Yeah, it adds a lot to any outfit, and especially now in
It's
our
a little touch as well.
a little touch. So in our modern life, I mean, you could be wearing as simple as a black blouse that I'm wearing now. Very, very simple. Not a lot of motion in it, and then you just throw a traditionally embroidered.
Just casually throw a
Casually
I think
throw it.
hand embroidered by someone. And this feels like silk.
It feels like silk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very lovely
Just-
as well.
Yeah, it's very flattering, to be honest. I feel quite.
And it has, see, I count all of these as red, so even though this is kind of a burgundy, I still count it in the category of the reds. It looks quite striking.
Yeah.
Even lilac, I'm not a fan of lilac, but it works really well together.
That's
the
light.
lilac.
Like every color work, and even does not need sometimes to follow pattern of color, but the mix of the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we love the collection of red, but also shawls can made with different colors as well. And we have another one of
So,
the blue
Turquoise.
turquoise
Yeah.
and
We love turquoise as
so
well.
is this, do you call this a Bethlehem star? The Star of Bethlehem? Or what do you call it?
I think so.
To be honest,
I get confused because I read too
Sure.
much about different cultures, so I don't
Yeah.
know now. Beautiful blues, turquoise and
And mixed now. It's like if you like 60 years ago in Palestine, it's like you would have for a specific, and still now, especially in West Bank, each village has a specific cross stitch and structure. Yeah. But sometimes, like in Palestinian, can mix them.
Oh, I'll show you the back. It's easy
Yeah.
to show you the back on this
Very
one.
neat.
Now it's gone on the floor. But this looks like you could embroider it without the waist canvas.
Yes.
Although I was really surprised to hear some podcasters talking about the fact that they were embroidering on linen. And you can do it without waist canvas, but they were choosing to use waist canvas.
Yeah, make it neater. Although
I don't know, I think they were just feeling it was more authentic.
yeah, but although sometimes if
In the
it's not,
diaspora, I
yeah,
would say.
I mean, there is also something unique in the imperfection of it as well.
Yay! I really believe in imperfection.
No, honestly, because it feels and looks handmade.
Yes.
And we'll talk about the non-handmade later on.
Yes.
But maybe we could show something different, also still handmade, but now more and more women choose to wear pieces of clothes that are not traditional.
Because women work as well, don't they?
Yeah, because
Yeah, you work
of
outside of the home.
I wear this to work many, many times.
I haven't taken it in.
Yeah?
No. It was only once you told me. I mean, I've noticed the shawl.
Yeah.
Is it yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Look
it's
at
the
that.
same. So now it's a jacket. To be a formal one. It's a formal one. Yeah. And made cross-stitches.
This is a bit too formal for Dunedin, let's be honest. It's so
Too
casual. New Zealand is so
flattering.
casual.
No.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. And it's lined, so we can't see the back. But look at the edging. So lovely. Now, I read somewhere. What do those represent for you? These.
More of the mountains. I mean, yeah. I know that this is not probably a stitch from Gaza, but there was a time when people started to learn more about the tradition of other areas of Palestine.
Yeah.
Mind you, every town
After
and
48,
every
they would have
village-
had to anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you look into the queens of silk, you can see that there are striking differences in the not only just the patterns, but how the sleeves are made,
Yes.
the head cover that comes with it. So from one area to another, there will be lots of variations.
Yeah.
I love this. The sleeves that are like a massive
And a
triangle.
massive triangle. Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Not very practical. But then they did a thing where they folded them up so that they could work.
Practical. One thing to mention is that within the Palestinian embroidery, it's not only just the cross stitches, but there is also another stitch that are used in some parts, and some areas mix both.
Yeah.
We don't have any of the traditional made with the other stitch, which is called the urban stitch.
Okay.
But we have some of the machine-made ones that can show both patterns. Once we talk about the more commercialized ones.
I have read that they use a couching stitch, which is where you lay down one thread and then you attach it with a second thread. So that's called couching in the Western world, in the European tradition anyway. And they have talked about it, but people just think Tatreez, they think cross stitch, don't they?
Yes.
But they do have some other things.
Did you say the couching?
It's called couching.
One of them. We don't know the name of how.
We call it urban stitch.
Yeah. But it's not.
It's more in the cities.
Right.
Yeah.
But
opposite to the rural area.
I have read that it's not just 2 stitches. There's many stitches, and I remember couching.
Yeah. We'll show you some later on.
Great.
So not just the thobe or the shawl or the headband, but also goes to the accessories.
Yeah.
So this is a small.
This is very lovely.
Yeah.
I'll just bring some more here.
Isn't that beautiful? The reds. It's the reds. This is on Ada fabric.
Yeah.
Black Ada. And look at that. See, people that like cross stitch and stuff, they love little things like this.
Very small.
This is very pretty. Who made this?
I got it from a friend, and my friend got it from West Bank, so I don't know who made it, but it's lovely.
It is beautiful. It's one of those, I'm all for using the things you have, but also you don't want them to get damaged. But
and you can tell it's just the same stitch, just the cross one.
Yeah.
And then you just change the pattern.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one is just fully blocked. There is no fabric underneath. It's all stitches.
So what is it? What's got a name for it? Because I'm one of those cool people, but I can't remember the name. Somebody not that cool. Full coverage.
Full coverage. That's a great example of full coverage.
But I also like the. I'm interested in sort of the geometry, and it's so mathematical as well.
Yes. Yeah. I think this is more of the Madani one.
This is a mix because some of the stitches are not full; they're only just one side. And this one is very very old. Like the zip is not working. It's 20-year-old. I had it when I was a student. Incredibly.
Oh, it's flowers.
Old. Yeah.
Yes.
Very pretty.
You don't like this color?
I'm not a lilac person at all. I'm frightened of lilac.
Well, I'll hit you with another lilac now. Can we follow with another lilac?
I used to wear lilac when I was young, but I came across a poem about wearing lilac.
So this is
This is very beautiful. I quite like a slightly damaged thing, so I love this one. And you're still using it?
I'm still using it.
Very good.
As you can see, there are
the cards
in them.
And eventually you can frame it when it really falls apart.
Yeah.
I don't have it on me now, but I also have a glasses pocket.
A glasses case.
Yeah.
Everything.
Bookmarks.
Why not, right?
Now this one is really special for me because that was handmade by Rasha for me. So that was her work.
Oh, lovely.
A few years back.
And apparently this is among the first gifts I was able to give back to you because you left Gaza in 2006.
Yeah.
And it has been 8 years I didn't see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And as Palestinians, we
they
see each other in years, not just in days.
So who set it into the handbag?
You just go to a shop. It's like I said, I want to transfer this to a handbag. You choose the design, and I just made the patterns inside. I made all of the stitches.
But you stitched it first, and then you took it.
You give the fabric to the handmade.
I don't know. You
beautiful.
can see the what do you call them? There's still some sparkly.
Bit of bling.
Yeah.
Glass beads or something like that.
Yeah.
We still have two there. I'm wondering, I probably have had some more embroidery somewhere.
Do you still use that one?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But for very, very special occasions. I cannot put it for like every day to day
Not for the
and
market.
wear it. No. Yeah.
This is the same.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Picture that.
So similar to this one, so it can be in
A headband.
headband.
Yeah. Oh,
occasion.
look, tons here. Can show this
Yeah.
one. Here is amazing.
And this is my
Lovely.
other also cards holder that includes all of these, you know, just
So it can still be
Did you buy this
practical.
one?
gifts from my auntie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it still can be practical. Go to work. We need our business card holders.
Yeah.
But they come with
That's very
in
lovely.
stitches and.
It doesn't. It's not damaged at all.
No.
Great.
Yeah.
What else?
And you've got jewellery.
Yes. Because it's like it's also been transformed, so this is just a piece of normal stitches.
Did you make it? Or did you buy the
Yes,
piece?
as well.
A gift. Yeah.
Usually it's like the best thing you can give to anyone without thinking twice.
Uh-huh.
Any embroidery related.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And this ring and this earring are special for me as well. So
You wore these the other day.
yeah. And so we usually at henna party.
Yeah. What were you doing, Catherine?
That was the wrong finger.
Oh, okay. See, in our culture, that's not a wrong finger. Like, we don't have the connotation that has
I know,
the
but
West.
they're mostly English
They were-
fingers.
Oh, okay. So just so you know,
Yeah.
it's not a thing. We don't use finger gestures to mean anything.
Also,
Yeah.
I am trying so hard to be a good
Except
girl.
for welcome, you know, except for welcome with open
Oh,
arms.
is that
Yeah.
Yeah, open
Okay.
arms. Yeah.
This is lovely.
Yeah.
Very effective with the red as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you were saying, why are these very special?
So in henna party, we usually
Before the wedding
before
day,
the wedding,
yeah.
all of the women wear all of these, special dresses and everything. And a friend of mine, she was very thoughtful, and her henna party, she specifically chose these handmade.
Like a
give
little
gift
favor.
for,
For the
as
gifts.
gifts for the
Ah.
gifts and for everyone. So each time I have it, like that's
You think of her?
Yeah.
Oh, these ones.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely as well. You can show these.
They are lovely.
And these are Haya's one, special with the
I saw her
Palestinian
yesterday.
flag.
Was it
Haya.
Yes,
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday I spotted them.
She was wearing them with feeling
pride,
pride.
yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Beautiful.
So Rasha's daughter was wearing these yesterday, and I noticed, as a proper textile person, I notice everything. That's
Yeah.
styling.
And key handlers.
And this
So,
is the...
and I think this is not a handmade, but it will feed in well with the
Okay, and
but
so
it's
the question is this the map of Gaza
map of Palestine.
So that's the
as
mandate
per 1948?
as
Pre-1948.
pre-1948.
So this is the full map
Palestine.
of Palestine.
The territory
That's
known
really great.
as you will find it in any history book
Yeah.
that is called Palestine.
Yeah.
Right? Where all these different and amazing traditions and embroidery that could be found from the north up to the the bottom of the country.
It's not a...
Yeah.
With the line.
You don't get to... We don't really learn enough about this. My education has been very Latin-centric and Eurocentric.
Ooh.
We also use embroidery not only just in our clothes and our personal items. They are part of the furniture, everything. So if you have a fancy piece of furniture, like a chair, you might find parts of it with embroidery on it.
So we have a good example.
I have a good example, but I'll tell you also not a story, but something that is less and less happening these days. So back in the days, at least I was asked the same question when I got married many moons away back. So the tradition, and still in some parts of the West Bank at least, for a new bride before she gets married, it's a traditional that she will make all of these pillows and duvet covers that all have traditional embroidery on them.
Okay.
So that's part of her preparation and her family's preparation. So there will be embroiderers from the extended family and people helping out, making all these amazing pillowcases for her before she is.
I did think that a
getting
beautiful
married.
necklace piece from a dress would look lovely on my pillowcase as I was making my own bed.
Yeah, so that would be a way to recycle it, but for a new bride before moving to her home,
Everything
she
would be new.
yeah, new one. Yeah. So I've been gifted these from my
Can I put it-
sister-in-law.
Yeah. This would be the way up, right?
Yeah. So this is the way. I have 3 of them.
They are very beautiful. Handmade?
All handmade. Yeah.
And you kept these since your wedding?
Well, I've been gifted those later on since I did not have the time as a working person or the conviction that I need to spend all of that time preparing for these pieces
I don't know.
work.
I just think we need to prioritize embroidery.
So I got these as a gift later after my wedding.
Because people are like, she doesn't have enough
She doesn't
embroidery.
have enough embroidery at her home. So here you go. So I have 3 of them, and I brought them here into Aotearoa, New Zealand. Of course, in the back it's
This is like a necklace piece.
yes.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
So of course we don't the pieces of art in my bedroom, so I keep them on a side.
I worry about that.
No, we don't.
That you wouldn't want to, because they do. The embroidery cushions do wear down.
They do.
You know?
But what happens is that people use them, they wear down, and then they renew them after a few years, and they get new ones, and they make new ones.
Yeah, but that's all very well when you live in your country and everything's stable, but you know.
But not when, so
These things will never be replaced because Gaza has changed. Your family are all over the world now, and things are just different, so they become even extra precious.
Very precious, yeah.
And
So they have this, the back is like this red wine, very deep satin red.
Kind of a silky
It's
feeling.
silky, yeah.
And as we were
Gorgeous.
talking about weddings,
Oh, that's a very nice segue, yeah.
yeah,
There's a lot of tidying up to happen after this.
Oh, sorry.
we have a Palestinian wedding
Aha.
simple and also cross stitches.
I think if we start from here and then we'll move it so that people can actually see it.
And
So the woman, the bride is on the horse?
yes, and
And
this is usually like
this
in
one
a,
here.
not usually like long time ago. This is how in the village, especially if I may say my grandmother, this is how it was her wedding, like on a horse from her home to the home. And this is handmade. I made it.
You made it for your wedding?
No, it's just like I made it just because you will put it on a frame and it will be part of the decoration of your room.
And what does it say?
هي يا ولاد فلسطين المشرد واللي فيها دمعة من عين الحزين جينا الأرض نرويها. It says like, oh hey Palestine, this is for children that they are everywhere. There's a tear in the eye of the sad person. We are all coming using these tears in order to water the land and feed it. And then on the lower line, it says
that whole sentence was the top.
That's the top, yeah.
And then the lower عريسنا زين الشباب زين الشباب عريسنا. And this is the kind of the dahiyya or the mawal. It's how you
Like a traditional chanting
chanting
for the
during
groom.
wedding for the groom. And it says the groom is the
most beautiful of the young men and
the most beautiful one. Yeah.
And I noticed that, Arabic is read from the other side.
The other
one
side.
I'm used to.
Right,
Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
And this is like a standard pattern, so if you look into it, you will find a way how to replicate the way it documents how the wedding is done. So women here maybe, I don't know, preparing food, taking it, men dancing, little kids, more
And
dancing
this
and
is dabka.
chanting.
What's it?
Dabka.
Yeah.
And you can see,
Something like that?
Yeah, it's like stomping, yeah.
but you can tell that
Very old.
dabka, it's women and men
Men
are all
together.
hand by hand
Uh-huh.
doing the dabka.
Uh-huh. Cool.
And of course, the men are wearing traditional
Kombaz,
Kombaz
which is
is
the
called.
traditional trousers for men.
They don't have the cross stitches and then the embroidery, but it's also quite a specific way of
Mhm.
dressing.
Yeah.
And I love that. I don't know if you could see on the screen, but the women, their dresses are also embroidered.
From
Yeah.
with the
The embroidery has embroidered dresses.
It's embroidered, exactly. You need to have a close-up
Yeah, we'll take a photo.
of that just to show that actually within the dress itself there are patterns
Yeah.
as much as you can within. Yeah.
So now you need to
Right.
save up to frame it here.
Yes.
Because framers is very expensive in New Zealand.
But that was intentionally that I didn't want to frame it, so I can bring it with me.
Yeah.
With the frame it would be now and then.
Yeah.
Before we move and speak a little bit about the machine-made, like the more
We don't know.
commercial patterns,
not
yes,
yet.
that's what I want to talk about.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So what else you can use embroidery? So we've shown earlier a recycled piece of embroidery that was framed, but also you can make these patterns that you just hang in your home.
Mhm.
And if I could also brought a mirror, so you will find a mirror and there's embroidery all over it as a decoration on the frame, exactly.
So I have a question. A question has just occurred to me because I've noticed you have images.
Yeah.
You have like pictures, and I think I'm not Muslim, so I don't know, but pictorial art is not really something that Muslim people have in their homes. So they have words.
Well, give and take, but if you look into traditionally the Arabic handwriting is a fascinating one, and there's a lot of art within the architecture that has emerged out of it. So if you are lucky, say, and went to Jerusalem, for instance, and went to one of the very old mosques there, you'll find that the patterns there is all made of Arabic handwriting in a very, very specific pattern, and there are some fonts where you can create art using them. So you can bend the shape of the letters in order to create flowers and other patterns and so on and so forth.
I mean, I don't. It's always. You have to be careful when you talk about a culture and a religion that's not yours. But I did read somewhere that there is nothing specific in the Quran that says you can't have.
No, it
images.
doesn't. It doesn't. But over the years, the scholars said that, well, if you actually make that image or have a statue, it could lead to people starting to worship it or give it a specific status, and that would be something quite forbidden to start to appreciate or worship another deity.
So that leads to my next question, which is Palestinian embroidery. Is it non-religious specific? So Christian Palestinians would still do this embroidery and wear this skirt?
It's across.
Okay.
It's across both communities. In fact, I'll go back to that Queens of Silk. I'll send you one specific image that he took from Beit Jala, I think, which is next to Bethlehem. And it's a group of 4 senior women who would look exactly the spitting image of my grandmother and how she would be wearing, and they were all wearing their crosses, so they were Christian women. And in any village or any community, both women, Muslim and Christian, will be wearing almost the same pattern. Probably the Muslim would be covering somehow, but also in the old days, our Christian Palestinians would be also covering the same way.
It was interesting because I've not long been in India, and we go around places, and some places are very Hindu and some places are very Muslim, and what the guide was saying is like back in the day everybody covered. It's just how
Exactly.
humans behave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just that some groups of people have abandoned that custom. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another piece, but I'll talk about it because it's not very common like in Gaza. I'll show you the back of it first, and then I'll. Yeah. So the back of it is a fabric that mainly within Bedouin Palestinians, they will use it, to cover the back of their camels or horses, or made tents traditionally out of these patterns.
So this is woven.
This is woven exactly.
Okay.
So it's not the cross stitch.
Yeah.
Then, and this, I got it from Hebron 20 years ago. So they use the woven fabric, which is all colorful, then added here a cross stitch handmade pockets.
Yeah.
And this is where I would hang my keys next to
Aha.
the door.
Okay.
Important stuff, the mobile phone, things that I don't want to lose before going out. And you'll find it almost in every home. So that's where you hide your.
And it's interesting because they've also used commercial ribbon.
Commercial.
It's a real mixture of things.
It's a real mixture of things, exactly. So you're using it. I didn't make this one, but you'll find it available, especially in South Hebron. And in areas where there are more Bedouin Palestinian communities. So this is another different pattern and even different colors. Again, a celebration. You will think, oh, it has all the colors under the sun, but it looks
and some purple.
beautiful, and some purple as well.
Prove me wrong. Yeah.
But see how the purple goes with the yellow somehow. And
I mean, I'm all about color.
All about color.
Throw them all on. It all works.
Yeah.
Everything.
Another one that is not handmade, and maybe this is a segue for the more commercial non-handmade. So these are machine patterns now.
Yeah.
And these are really readily available and way cheaper than the handmade ones, which could be, sometimes taken as gifts for people. Or,
Lots of bling, silver metallic thread.
And this one,
Yeah.
But we'll
This
show you
feels like
other-
something I would find in England in a Muslim house.
you would find
it feels.
there.
It feels because I lived in
Because of
England
the
for a long
pattern,
time. But just the silver as well.
Yeah.
Like that would feel, and not probably with Arabic rather than English. But yeah. I mean that's the thing. There is.
But it's too neat, and you could tell it's not like the strings itself. It's not if you feel it's quite rough.
Well, that's metallic thread for you, though.
Very
That's a
metallic
nightmare.
thread. Yeah.
I mean, I do think. I mean, I love handmade because I like to see the hand. I like to see the imperfections. If I wanted it to be perfect, I would buy it from a factory where a machine has made it. But being able to do certain things by machine is also a skill.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
it's not like you don't need any skills to do that sort of thing. It's just a different thing. That's all. I don't like it when people pass machine for handmade.
Yeah. Oh no.
But,
we are very aware of
Fast machines give you more options.
options.
Yeah.
And time,
And time,
you also have to accept, being a middle class woman in a country where you have free time is very different from trying to make a living
And
out of
if we may say,
embroidery.
like, the cost of where the full one sold that I showed you, they are very expensive.
Very expensive.
Yeah. Very expensive.
But fair enough, right?
Yeah. Of course,
For the value,
and the
absolutely,
value and the
absolutely.
hours.
Yeah. So for a fraction of the cost, you could also get a machine made, and that's where you get now
More lilac.
but also different patterns, like the way the
It does look quite beautiful.
it's made. It's different. It's not traditional. Here you have regular sleeves, and on the other side, a massive different one that looks quite flattering when you wear it. It goes up to
Like
you,
a wing.
like a wing, but
It does
just
look
on one
pretty.
side.
It's hard for the computer, but
Yeah.
It's not hard
Very
for
pretty.
And it comes with also a belt. Really, really flattering, this one.
is this yours?
That's mine.
Do you wear it out here?
I actually wore it for a special occasion,
Nice.
and as I was walking on the road, people were just standing and looking because it looked quite.
It's striking.
Different. It's very striking. Yeah. It
Very
was a very
beautiful.
special occasion. Thank you. You can also find non-traditional colors that come. Only the machine can. I mean, no traditional embroiderer would do a mono like this one. But this is a jacket that is
Maybe they're
handy.
innovating like that. Maybe they are doing monocolors.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
But
For
you'll
fun.
find more monocolors, yeah.
The young people, you know?
And again, but this one, this particular one, I will just show it. It's not only just the cross stitches, but it's the other stitch that we
Like
spoke
satin
about.
stitch?
That
That one, yeah,
Yeah.
we would call that satin stitch.
satin stitch. Another one. Yeah. You want to show it?
This
Yeah,
is
go
as well as a machine one, but this one here was in a part of a Dabka group when we were in Gaza. My daughter.
So Dabka is a dance?
The dance, yeah. And this is like the soap one.
So this was,
This
like
is
the troops had their own little outfit
yeah.
that they wore.
and a machine one.
So this is machine made?
This is a
Machine
machine
made.
Yeah. But it came as well with the.
It can't be easy to do cross stitches on machine because they're actually hitting where they should. It can't be easy either.
We probably
need skill.
Yeah.
It is a skill for sure.
It came as well with the
Head cover.
head cover,
Yeah.
but with a long scarf. So when you do the dance, it weaves with you as well.
And the coins.
And of course the coins.
Cute.
Mind you, these would be made of gold back in the days, and that's where the family wealth is sitting.
Yes.
Where you go.
like Indian women and jewelry.
Yeah.
You know? I say it about Indian jewelry, Indian women and jewelry, because I think certainly in England there is more of an understanding about that side of things.
Yeah.
Because supposedly our close links, but Britain meddled with Palestine as well. So.
They did. Heavily.
Moving on.
Yeah.
It was very lovely yesterday when we were at the protest.
girls.
And the two little, oh my god, they looked adorable.
And the very small, cute
The small,
dresses.
cute.
Yeah.
With a little thing with the coins.
The coins
It just
and
worked.
running around
And they look happy.
Beautiful. So.
Very
With
lovely.
the machine ones, you step out of the comfort zone, how the traditional ones are done. So this one has a much shorter front, yeah, and then tall.
But they'll wear trousers underneath.
You'll wear trousers,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Catherine,
But again,
I don't know, because it could have
word-
been made for a diaspora community, you know?
Yeah.
which is, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you will have just a short ender, and then it will be small. Yeah.
Small, yeah. I'll show you another machine made dress, which is actually on the heavier side of
We're
things.
not showing them how
They've
the
got
room
loads
looks
of
like
good
with
stuff.
all of the embroidery bits and pieces.
Yeah. What's that? I'm going to leave and then they're going to tidy.
Well, it's okay. I mean, I know where they belong. So.
I'm sure Mohammed is delighted with the idea of coming in to tidy up at the end.
Why not? This one is also very special to me. So, like when Rasha mentioned she got those lovely earrings as a gift in a henna for my sister's sister-in-law wedding. Her father,
your sister's
sister-in-law.
And you get invited?
I get invited and I get a dress.
Ah.
So that was a gift from the bride's father to myself and to my sister and to some other women from within their family. So I'm considered part of the family.
This is a machine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it's a machine one, a heavy one, more on the purple side. But you will, what do you want to say, Catherine?
You like, no, I was just,
Yeah.
so this is what gets me excited.
Yeah.
In Mexico,
Mhm.
they have a tradition, so they have blouses that have this sort of shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they join the sides, they use this sort of stitching, handmade, and they've got a name for it.
Yes.
And I just love that, in another part of the world, they also do a similar thing,
So
even though you're not joining it.
So we'll show that. So this pattern is more in some parts of the West Bank,
Mhm.
so we don't have much of it in Gaza. And this one is from around Ramallah to the north of Jerusalem. So you'll find these stitches that are not cross, and normally they would be made handmade, but of course this is a machine one. So you see the pattern alongside the cross stitches and more of the non-cross stitches pattern, and of course a lot of glitter because it's for the wedding. It's a wedding,
right.
yeah. So you
The
go
happy
there and it's a
occasion.
very, very, flattering dress.
Beautiful.
And I think the last piece we have.
This is
Yeah.
the moment at which I tell you that when I got married,
Yeah.
Martha's children were there, and two witnesses knows it. Oh, just the idea of having a big party is just so hideous to me.
Fair enough.
And I think this is a machine one.
This is a machine one as
But
well, yeah.
this one is called a Cherkasy.
Oh, yes.
And I
The
got
dress is called Cherkasy?
Cherkasy. And I got this one from Hebrew for my henna party.
Yeah.
And this is, my dress for my henna.
Traditional?
I think
So would you have found this?
So traditional. I need to find what's the what you call
the name,
Cherkasy in
Cherkasy in
English. So they are an ethnic community that are in Syria and in Lebanon and in Palestine. So they are part of the Palestinian community, and that's
But
their
they're a separate ethnic
specific.
group.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's still
And they
Palestinian.
use that, they use that chain stitch. I am
And they're
fascinated.
Christian.
Okay.
community. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm fascinated by the Bedouins of Palestine.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's going to be another rabbit hole I fall into.
very rich. Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to look into specific traditional dresses, there is Bir Saba, which is now in Israel called Beersheba. And what does that mean in Arabic? The lion's well, like the spring or the well of the lion. So very mighty people. They are of Bedouin origin, and their dresses are just the most beautiful.
Bedouin. They're just because Bedouin would have been what's the word? People that moved, right?
Nomad.
Nomad.
Yeah. Nomad.
It is Sunday. I did make my bed today. I'm tired.
So something very unique about their way of dressing, so you will recognize it, is that the women will have a way of covering their face. Of course, they are exposed to the sun more than anyone else. Yeah. And those amazing face covers will show their eyes and part of their face, and they have these golden coins across them, just showing the beauty of the eye. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
I'll
sure
send you
I'll
an
come across.
image. Yeah.
Beautiful. This is very lovely. And if we have energy for it, we'll take photos. It's now an hour and 7 minutes. And my phone's not full, so that's great. So, have we shown everything?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
So I think we've come to the end. Oh,
Okay. Just one slip.
so
Many
this
times I've
my lipstick.
It's okay.
So
I'm a bad human with red lipstick.
I had to go and Google this one. So the Shekas are the Circassians, and they are an ethnic community across the Levantine area.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. We'll look it
They
up.
are in
I'm so sorry. I'm going to
Palestine.
show you because I'm so embarrassed that you've got red
Okay.
lipstick on it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't invite me to your house.
What
Bad things will happen. I'll talk about really terrible things, shocking
But
things.
that one will also come with a cover. Of course, again, this is a
That's how it's like.
henna. Like a.
That's in the head, but you put it here and will flow.
So you don't. It's not meant to cover.
Almost like
Cover.
like a veil more in the wedding, in English wedding sense, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly,
It's just to make it
yeah.
look pretty at the back of the head.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just have it that
Like
way, and
that.
you'll have your hair
Yeah.
flowing.
Of course, there will be the henna and everything.
Yeah. Lovely. I didn't get to do henna in India.
Oh, you can make
Because
it
they do
there.
it, I know, I do have some at home, but it's not the same. I kept saying to Martin, should I get my henna hands done? And he'd be like, you go on then. I was like, it's no fun, it's just my husband
We do
there.
henna as well.
Yeah, I know that. I was surprised I didn't know this.
Yeah.
But, there's no joy in doing henna. It's only your husband who's going to pretend to be interested. It's like, I want to do henna when I'm with my friends.
You need to be
all
with
get
someone who
excited.
appreciates it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The man that got me chocolates from the airport in Japan, he wouldn't have appreciated it. The Martin bashing. I do love him though. He didn't bring me a present last time, and he said, I went to the op shop, but there was nothing good.
Was that his first visit to Japan?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe next time he'll be more prepared.
Next time we're going together.
Together, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you know
We're
what
going together. I don't quite know how you don't stumble upon ceramics and textiles in Japan, but
And he knows what interests you.
that's right.
Does it mean he has no execute?
We don't do presents because he's a terrible gift giver. He's lovely. He makes me coffee every morning. Well, he didn't. He was retired, and life is just difficult now. But generally, he makes me coffee, so it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that her husband gets points. That's all. Anyway, I think we're done. This has been super lovely. I've learned lots, and I've got lots of things to Google. So if you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments, and I will ask around and get back to you. Kakite? Free Palestine.
You become sons of